Welcome, welcome, everybody. We are so excited for tonight's show. I cannot say enough about everything that we have going on when it comes to Tuesday night, and it's called It's All About the Drive. Now, you can imagine just what does that mean? So we're talking inside, outside of a car. We're talking different racing. We're talking about manufacturers, you name it. It's going to be here live on Tuesday night with 9 at Night with Christine and friends. I'm so excited. We're going to kick off with our show opener. And then I'll introduce my co-host, Steve Ford. I'm so glad that he's here tonight. Wait till you learn about Steve. This is absolutely exciting. We have authentic, original person here, and that's, you'll find out. I'm just going to keep you holding. But I want to say 9 at Night is every night from Friday to Monday to Friday, and it's easy to find. You just go 9 at night.com, and you can click on Zoom right there to catch us live. We will have it recorded that you can go to the website and find afterwards, but the best part is to have it live so that you can have your own questions answered in person, okay, by our co-hosts and guests. So right now I'm going to start up and we'll open our show. Awesome. Okay, so to tell you a little bit about our wonderful host, I'm our co-host. His name is Steve Ford, and that's just, there is so much to it. He is the original and authentic car guy. I mean, this is since 1983. You have to know who he is, and we're going to meet him in person, and we're also going to talk about, some really interesting things that he's been doing and what he wants to do to change the world one child at a time. And so we're excited with that. So right now I'm going to introduce and welcome so much Steve. We sure appreciate you.
Hey, well, if I'm coming through here with you, can you see me okay?
I sure can. You look great.
Thanks. You look great too. And congratulations on what you're launching and unfolding to help people out. A different topic each weeknight. I think that's terrific. I'm in a parking lot in the northern part of Los Angeles County. And you're where? Where am I? I didn't even,
I'm in Southeast Idaho. I'm in the quiet suburb of a little town, about a couple thousand people. I love it. Yeah. We have a little farm even. Okay. So that's where we're at. Rural to big city.
Okay. You got, is there some couple of ducks running on a treadmill to make electricity for this, for this internet connection?
Add the chickens too. Yeah. We got
that. Thank you. Well, it's good to be with you. And I appreciate your letting me do this impromptu with a lamp, a podcast light and an iPhone here to connect. I'm going to a movie tonight at 7:15 local time, but it's great to connect. And my friend Doug Stokes, through whom you've connected with me in the motorsports world, Doug and I go back to the mid 1980s when I was just coming out of college. And so I'm grateful for his referral to me to give you a topic that's not one of the main topics. And of course, my reason for being on is it should be in the automotive world, the youth connection with cars, kids and cars. So thank you.
Oh, you bet. And what I want to do, I have your website here. I'm going to load it up real quick so that I want everybody to see this if you haven't seen it already, because I think it's just so important, all that I know I can find it here somewhere.
That's all right. Thecarguy.com. But I appreciate your pointing people to it. But I most appreciate just, Christine, that you're taking the time to try to spotlight topics and having the compassion for what I'm passionate about. I have to say is that I go to high school audiences and I speak to classes and auditorium groups and assemblies of people looking at careers, and sometimes middle schools where I go into an auditorium where they have students walking through to meet firefighters, doctors, lawyers, dentists, and then car guys, people like me from the auto industry. And oftentimes I'm alone and I'm happy to be there, but I know there are many other men and women in the automotive industry who also care about kids learning about hands-on skills. I could sound like a press release if I keep going, so I'll stop before I start my stump speech about
Well,
the topic.
and thank you. It's incredible. I am so passionate about helping children. So I have your website up. It's the Car Guy. It's original and authentic. And that's very important to mention. Let's talk about how did you get it started, Steve? This is incredible.
Well, first of all, I'm flattered, but I want to try to live up to what you're saying. I don't know that I can. I don't think I'm doing anything that's so in and of itself so significant. And you were fun early on about trying to help the world. I am working on something of a initiative that I'd like to see take off with other like-minded people like me, obviously, Doug Stokes and other people who care about this topic, which is why you're talking to me. Thank you. I think the answer to your question about how I got into this is kind of what you're asking.
Yes.
Really is great to say, which brings me first to why I'm doing what I'm doing about youth outreach, which is this. I can't afford to save the world. I can't cure world hunger, but I can't be on the sidelines acting like I can only complain or talk to other people about it. It would be good if somebody would do something. I know there's an opportunity in each of our respective careers and even hobbies to go ahead and do something on our own and not wait for somebody else to do it, and it's easier to get somebody else to do something if you're willing to do whatever that is first. Anybody can walk in and say, hey, I've got this great idea for a widget. Can you loan me $10 million? It's on spec. If I can say I've got this great idea to help kids who are not otherwise reached by public education today, the same way I was when I was a youngster, I think there's something I can do about it. If there's something I can do about it, there's something that other people can do about it. So if you'd scroll to the bottom of my website.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you something. Look at those little bottom artwork pieces. One says The Car Guy, one says Muscle Beach, one says Discovering Cars. If you click on that one.
Okay, I was thinking of popping on that one. Okay.
That shows me as a teenager, about 17 years old, working on a differential on a car. So my hands are greasy. I'm neck deep in hot auto parts in an automobile apart. Over my left shoulder is an axle from a car, and in my hands is a differential. And that's, for me, evidence that A, I was into cars when I was a kid, and B, I really got hands-on. And some people avoid getting their hands dirty. Mm-hmm. I was proud to get my hands dirty because it meant that I was working on something that, that otherwise even adults sometimes couldn't do the things I was doing to cars at 18 and 17 years old. Why am I saying this? Because that was my start. It was an auto shop at Granada Hills High School in the San Fernando Valley, north of Los Angeles. When I went to school in the 1970s, I want to be embarrassed to be so ancient, but it was a wonderful time. In the mid 1970s, all high schools had shop classes of some kind, and middle schools or junior high schools. And I went into auto shop at 15 years old, and I had a life-changing teacher whose name was Mr. Lee Mills. And Lee Mills was the kind of instructor, Christine, that you and I and everybody listening or watching your podcast can relate to. Somebody who did not want to let you ever feel like you weren't welcomed and capable of learning. And when you go into a class, and you have that dignity, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So that teacher changed my life. He gave me encouragement and said, you have mechanical aptitude, and I think you're going to be great at this class and you're going to have fun. And I thought I couldn't wait for the next class and the next class and the next class. And I took more hours of high school auto shop. By the time I graduated, no student had taken more classes of auto shop than I had. Not that I was so great or took so many. It was that I took every available, sometimes 2 times a semester, 2 classes back to back. I got my college requirements to go to Cal State Northridge, studied marketing once I graduated, but I supported myself through school as a mechanic on Van Nuys Boulevard, north of Los Angeles, worked at a General Motors dealership. And so without taking more time about me, I go from that experience through an incredible journey in the auto industry, always supported by my education in high school auto shop that taught me everything for life skills, why to do what you're doing, how to solve problems, how to get along with others, and most importantly, how to work with my hands.
That is excellent. Now you have a Murphy's Lab Kids and Cars clinic. Can I click on that?
Well, no, actually back up. What I tell you to go to is that's great, but that's something I've done. What I'm doing today is I'm doing kids and cars clinics at car shows and cars and coffees. So perfect. just to run a video just for a moment, I'd say go just for a second. I don't know if you can run video when you're doing this, but if you click on cool tools right there on that menu where you got, it says cool, just click on that right there. This is free instruction for kids at clinics that I do. I have them watch this in advance. And if it's muted, you can see me open up talking about tools. Now that's in a museum. That museum has gone through some changes since COVID, and I've changed my venue to go to the cars and coffees and car shows where I just go, I deliver my little clinic. If you play the click, you can click the play to run it.
Okay, yeah, I'll play it.
Although hand tools can appear to be easy to use, they still require adult supervision and mentor guidance for proper and safe.
Yeah, I can hear the sound. It records the sound.
Well, maybe run it through at least to the introduction, and that'll give you a picture of what, if you don't mind.
I love it. This is perfect. I love it. Okay.
Initial use.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about cool tools you can use in your toolbox. When you look down at bolts and nuts and fasteners of different sizes on a vehicle as cool as this 1928 Ford Roadster in the Murphy Auto Museum, like so many other cool cars in here, it's put together with fasteners of those different types of nuts and bolts, coarse thread and fine thread, larger bolts and smaller bolts. You may come across a bolt and need a larger pair of pliers that's adjustable if you're doing something where you're
Thanks, Christine. That shows what I'm doing free to youth to be able to click on and not pay or buy anything. Just have somebody volunteer to be on the web. And I've just begun just a couple of videos you can see on that menu on the website, Discovering Cars.
How much fun.
So the connection, Christine, between this and my beginning in the automotive world is pretty simple. If you scroll down that little kid right there walking in an auto shop area, that next right there, that's my son. He's now 17 years old. That's when he was about 3.5 years old, but he's grown up now, even though he's not exactly necessarily interested in working on cars. He's a car buff and he knows tools. And so I realized in raising a son, even, it's my responsibility as a dad to teach my son and my daughter. I have a daughter who's now 22 and she's academic, but she has her own toolbox and she knows how to use these tools. And they both grew up in the garage tinkering with me, whether they liked it or not. And I don't mean I dragged them in, but I gave them incentives. They come out, hang out with me, and then we'll go get, ice cream or whatever. But the thing I would tell you is that out of that experience I had as a 15-year-old, I'm deeply, deeply concerned about our nation. We used to have things that were made in the USA.
Right.
And now the profound question becomes, what does the USA make in 2022? We do make things, but most things are not made in the USA. And that's a tragedy because look what's going on with the world today. We are now at the beck and call. We are now at the whim of any other nation that might manufacture something that we import, we don't manufacture. So we've moved from a nation of producers in the 20th century and the 18th century into the 21st century as a nation of consumers. Everybody talks about online purchases and getting things delivered to their door. That's consumption. That's spending money. That's not making something, repairing something, building something, fabricating something, inventing something. So I don't think I can cure world hunger. I don't think I can repair the damage done by getting rid of all the auto shops in high schools across the country. But in Los Angeles, there are 125 high schools, Christine.
That's quite a
125 high
bit.
schools.
I cannot believe that. That's a lot of kids.
Well, yeah, well, 125 high schools. When I went to school, more than 80 of the high schools had auto shop programs. Today, I want you to listen on, I'll close on my intro here from what my heart and my passion back up. In Los Angeles Unified School District today, we have 125 high schools, and we have 6 working auto shop programs. Of those 125 schools, only 6 have shop classes.
Oh no, that is wrong. That's absolutely wrong.
Well, people don't know. People hear auto shops have gone away, wood shop has gone away, and metal shop has gone away. What they don't know is the looming, simmering crisis that is the lack of competence in youth to be able to go get jobs in the skilled trades, and the skilled trades are desperate to get the youth. What's the disconnect? The skilled trades post World War II, 1945, say to 1990 or 2000, was supported by kids getting introduced in experiential classes, not commitment to careers, not commitment to having to do this for the rest of your life, but dabbling in home economics, learning to cook and run a household, auto shop, learning to fix and understand cars, change a flat tire, understand how an engine works or an electric motor works, understand electricity, metal shop, electric shop, wood shop. Those are all courses not meant to create careers, but teach the masses exposure to tools, exposure to independence and competence. And now we're teaching consumerism and helplessness, and people having to have disposable flat panel TVs and computers to throw away. Now, I don't think everybody should be able to fix their PC, but an automobile, you can deal with changing a flat tire, doing some of your own maintenance, making wise decisions about them, or changing a doorknob or a hinge or a plumbing fixture on your own. Whether you're a male or a female, whether you're a teenager or a senior citizen, you need to know how to handle a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and a flashlight, that kind of thing. It starts with that kind of education.
I absolutely agree. And on the other hand, I mean, we have a farm. We are self-sustained from our animals, our milk, eggs. I make homemade bread, everything. My husband does all of the mechanics, the household repairs, everything, because we're from that era. And that's what I know exactly what you're talking about. So here's what we're going to do. We need to encapsulate your cause and just really make a difference by advertising it, kind of like in a little break within our podcast, and go a little bit more. I'm all in. I totally am all in. You bet. So we'll plan on that, and we'll get something up next week. How can anyone, I guess I'll have people just go to 9atnight.com and contact me until we have what we're going to do together, and then we can just make something happen.
Yeah, thank you. I think you were going to ask a question. I mean, I just want to be offering you and your audience something right away. Just the idea, whether somebody's in the construction trades, electrician, plumber, pipe fitter, painter, mason, building walls and buildings and structures and construction, or somebody's a machinist, all the people that are in the skilled trades across the nation. My view of this is not my view. I'd like to think that anybody watching who's husband, wife, daughter, son, neighbor, brother, sister, cousin's neighbor's cousin's father's mother. I'm kidding. But somebody knows somebody who's in the trades. My point would be, hey, I don't know stuff you guys and gals know. Whether you're working in a plumbing counter, or you're working at a hardware store, or you're working with a big box places that sells tools, hardware, and refrigerators and appliances, you know something more than the kids know. And they don't know that we have people who want to fix things and repair things. So my observation for you right now, just on a summary, would be, I don't expect to cure world hunger, like I said earlier, but I also don't want to sit on the sidelines. I want to speak to your audience that's thinking, we don't want to sit on the sidelines either. This nation was not built by consumers sitting on the couch.
What's
know?
interesting enough, I have been doing for years, since 2012, I've been putting together children's events like safety events where they
Yeah.
win bikes. And I even have different types of tradesmen come and show them how to do
Yes.
these little things while they're in this fair type environment. And so from how to eat correctly, how to
Yeah, balance a
hamper it
checkbook,
out.
or wait, not balance. Nobody balances checkbooks.
Yes,
It's all
yes,
electronic. But how to
yes.
understand finance charges, understand interest rates,
And
whatever it is, banking, life skills.
definitely life skills. And there is something I will talk to you about after our podcast during the week until our next week. But I've created a Parents for Children. That's a number 4. And it's
Okay.
exactly to help children that may not
Perfect.
have sports money or anything. And they
Well,
can,
then we can do it.
but they're very talented. If they're talented, they get to school on their own, they get good grades. They can get good grades on their own without having parents tell them to do that.
We need a intrinsic motivation from the inside out. Show them how good they can be.
You said the best buzzwords ever. I have a book that's from the inside out and some other topics in there.
That's why I'm with you right now. My auto shop teacher made the effort to not just get paid to be a teacher, but paid to light fires under students' tails.
Excellent.
You know, don't
Excellent.
you know the old saying? Don't you want someone to be able to fish for life? Don't give them a fish. Teach them to fish.
I am so, oh yeah, I am so with you. Now we have this square on here that says Doug. Doug probably won't come on, but Doug introduced us both. And Doug, we just want to say thank you. This is the best introduction. And I go way back. I had a radio live broadcast in Doug's bookstore in South Carolina.
Auto books.
Yeah, it was auto books. I love auto books, and we had a great time. This was back in 2007.
He's the best. He's a connector.
He is absolutely that. Well, I know you need to go. I just a couple of questions real quick, if you don't mind. Now, I noticed that you belong to some of the SEMA organizations. Have you gone to the SEMA shows?
Oh, I'm not a part of SEMA.
Okay.
Specialty Equipment Market Association is great. I've been to many of their shows in Las Vegas. I've gone both as an enthusiast and on assignment as a journalist, as a professional.
Okay.
It's the Apex Week, the Auto Parts Expo in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Apex, that's usually at the Sands Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've been there for like 20 something years, and I haven't for the last 10, but those are great backups for sponsorships for this type of cause. Do you see where I'm getting at?
Yeah. Oh, listen, it's funny you say that. A lot of people are sponsoring a lot of things. A lot of people are talking. I think it's time to act and stop and get out, way beyond these committees and great associations. It's like, get out in the street. You know what I mean?
I like to say I'm a sponsor queen. So things can happen because everyone sees the win-win in it. And especially it's all about the children. So I just had an incredible time. I will be advertising this video out there. It's our first of one every week where it's all about the drive. So Steve, is there anything else you'd like to add before you get going to your movie?
Well, you know what? Just for people watching you and talking with, or watching us connect, and they're in the conversation, knowing that I know they're listening to you and watching you, and who is this character you're talking to in a parking lot with a podcast light off his cell phone battery? I have a website, discoveringcars.org, discoveringcars.org, and that has videos that kids can watch. I mean, they have to be of a certain age, but the parents could at least watch the preview. They're like 7 minutes long. They're free. I'm experimenting. I'm looking for others like me along the way and like you. So, we can wait for the government to fix it. We can wait for, God to fix it, or aliens, or, a sci-fi movie to come up with some miracle cure. In the meantime, we can do it helping our neighbors, helping our friends, helping our kids, where they don't know they need it.
Let's get the people to do something, without all of that other red tape.
Somebody ought to do something. Wait.
We're doing it. We're doing it now. This is a huge start.
Just starting the conversation. It's not about me. It's about what each of you, and all of us can do when you see a kid learn something from you and realize an adult took interest in me and didn't ask me to buy anything or do anything, but just took the gift of information and acknowledgement. That's what teachers do best. And I'm a teacher. So I just want to help somebody believe in themselves and then go do themselves, expand and become who they're supposed to be.
That's it. It's following the passion, following the dream, and having
Yeah.
someone help support that. And
Yeah.
that's where we come in.
Yeah.
So excellent
Thank
to have
you.
you on. You have a great evening with your movie.
will.
I'm just going to add
will.
a couple more things on here, so you're free to go.
Thank
And
you. Discoveringcars.org. Okay. You know.
discoveringcars.org. Okay.
Yeah.
I got that. And
I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean to be doing a commercial. There's nothing sold there. It's all free. But that's
Yeah,
what we need, right?
I
Pass
am
it on.
going to type this in. Well, yeah, I'll type that in, and we'll have a slide on it for next week.
Thanks.
But we'll definitely talk. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Continued great momentum with this initiative on your end with your production, you know, and your diversity Monday through Friday. I'm glad to be on the automotive world from the racing world. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited, and we'll bring in some drivers. We'll bring in some stories and some history. I love history. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Doug.
Okay, all right. Take care.
All right.
All right.
You
Bye-bye.
bet.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So this was absolutely wonderful. And what I want to do is definitely be able to encapsulate what we've just talked about, and we'll add to it. So that's why it's important to come in, tune in to 9 at Night. And that is every Tuesday is going to be, it's all about the drive with our dear friend that we've been talking with. And his name is Steve Ford. And it's something where if you can go to thecarguy.com, you'll learn more about him. It's www.discoveringcars.org are videos, free videos for kids to watch, and everybody makes a difference. And that's kind of the start with this 9atnight.com. We're talking about real facts, real people, and people really trying to make a difference from Monday through Friday. And so it's absolutely exciting. I'm going to also put up another organization. Now I'm going to be sponsoring a different charity every night on this show. So tonight will be all about kids and mechanics and about cars, but I am going to play this other video on here just for tonight. And it's one that we have on another night. It's a StandISH Foundation for Children. Those children in the hospitals, they have lots of bad experiences. So this foundation helps the children in the hospitals, and you're going to see a short video. It's about 2 to 3 minutes, and it's going to tell you exactly what they do.
Having a child in the hospital is incredibly hard for parents and really difficult for the child too. But seeing a child smile because we were able to add a little bit of happiness and fun to their healthcare journey is an amazing feeling. In fact, it's our passion. Working in the US and overseas, I was sad to see that healthcare-related pain and suffering is universal. So in 2010, StandISH Foundation for Children began work to transform the healthcare experience for children. Today, we work to create new ways to help children and their families make the best of a tough situation.
Our caring and dedicated team is volunteer-led and made up of patients and parents, as well as professionals who are clinicians, educators, and advocates. Our team members have devoted their lives to helping children and are experts in addressing the psychosocial needs of patients and their families. Together with healthcare providers and donors, we work to make the healing process more hopeful and happy.
Our team collaborates with children's hospitals, clinics, and nonprofit organizations in the U.S. and around the world. We also support hospitalized children of U.S. military personnel. We guide in the education of staff and parents, teach child advocacy, offer psychosocial support, and give financial assistance to make the child's healthcare experience as positive as possible.
As healthcare technology continues to evolve, it's important to remember to embrace our common humanity. Fear is present for well checks, emergency room visits, as well as complex care involving surgery, chemotherapy, or organ transplantation. These procedures are scary, and we believe that no child should have to be afraid to go to the hospital or to the doctor's office. We know the research and strategies to minimize pain and suffering, and we know healthcare and healing can be positive. In fact, when children experience healthcare in a positive way, it contributes to their physical and emotional well-being, helping them reach their full potential.
We are honored to have donated over $200,000 in hundreds of volunteer hours to support 40 hospitals and clinics in the U.S. and overseas. Annually, our programs impact over 500,000 children. We need your help.
We need your help.
Now we need your help.
We need your help.
We need your help.
To further transform children's healthcare experiences and to ensure each child and family has access to a positive, hopeful, healing experience.
Okay, excellent. What I am excited about is it's all about children. Now, everyone that you're going to see and hear when it comes to racers, race car drivers, and in different racing backgrounds, and you're going to see all kinds of I'm trying to get past a lot of stuff here, but you're going to see a lot of different celebrities throughout every night, throughout the week. So, and you're going to learn, we have a tax expert in business for businesses. We have a chartered financial analyst for investments. We have them, all the ranges to fun and the music industry. On Wednesday nights it's all about the music. It's all about the talent. We have a fun night on Friday night. So we have every weekday night, there is a topic. So we have a good variety of positive people making a difference. And I think now, especially with everything going on, this is the time to have something like that. And so I really, really love that. Now, also with this, we also have quite a bit of meat and potatoes behind it. I'm from Idaho, so I say that a lot, and it's about helping children. It's about making a difference. Did you see the passion, absolute fabulous passion that Steve had with talking about the mechanics schooling for kids, get kids involved? I used to be a go-kart track announcer. I've trained on 13 different types of race cars, and these little kids in go-karts, I mean, they stayed out of trouble. They were so consumed about making, there's a little bandolero cars that another racing series is for kids that start at 5 years old. And so it is something to where they really learn about striving for, the best, doing their best, but through racing, through mechanics, it's the same thing. Regardless if it's a wood shop, it's the same thing, striving to have the best work done. And I love it. So the movement is on, from people making little kids happy in the hospitals to those making kids happy along the way when they're young, to know they can get their self-confidence, they can grow up and reach their dreams with a lot of support. So right now we're going to close out. I want to say a big thank you to Steve Ford for being on here. He'll be on next week. We'll have another guest, which will complete the full hour. Tonight we just kick-started, so it's our start, and it'll be our most famous episode. Our first one. I can't say enough to Doug Stokes out of South Carolina, a dear friend for both of us. And Doug, thank you so much for bringing us together, and some other great, incredible individuals making a positive difference. So with that, thank you so much. Again, we're back tomorrow night. It's all about the talent. You go to 9atnight.com, and then you'll be able to learn about what we're doing that every Wednesday nights. And then it's all about the money for Thursday night with Ray Patterson, our chartered financial analyst. And then Friday nights, it's all about fun. So isn't that sound fun? So again, the place to go to at 9 at night, and I say it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on the Pacific Coast, it is 6 p.m. Pacific time, so we got those 3 hours to work with. So it reaches everybody every time. So thank you so much. You're incredible, and you make a positive difference, and think of ideas of how we can help kids. Okay, talk to you soon. Thanks.